Hey everybody, Fish-A-Lotta here with Fishy Review. Today I'm doing an unboxing on this Fluval C3 filter. It's the first one I've ever had, and it looked interesting. I thought I'd give it a try and see what makes it tick. Let's see what's in the box. Open this up and pull it out. We've got a filter. We've got a manual, of course, and looks like filter media. Is that the back? That's the back. That's the front. Okay, so here's the filter. Looks like it's got some tape holding the top on. We'll take that off. Not so bad to take off. And we'll do what we always do with this junk. Throw it away. Now, okay. Now, gotta stop saying that. Take this top loose here. Hey, look at that. The top has the media container attached to it. Probably snaps off of there if you wanted to, but there's some coarse foam here, which is, it's attached to a filter pad. That seems okay, I guess. Might encourage you to replace it more often though. Always concerned about ongoing costs of a filter, so that's interesting there, but we've got that part. We've got the other top piece. This other cartridge comes out, and in here there's a place to hold some more media and a little bitty filter on top. I'm not sure what this accomplishes. I think this is the trickle down part. Okay, so that's right. Now we have, I'm gonna take the intake tube off. Here's the intake tube, normal tube. Kind of a mess from the glue, the way they put it together. What comes next? How do I take apart this thing? Okay, squeeze the tab, this comes out, and you get the top of the impeller housing off. Then you can reach in there. You can reach in there and get the impeller out. I think you need smaller hands. Okay, and I have pretty small hands. So here's the impeller. It is fine. It's kind of a strange design of one. I haven't seen one quite like this before. And I've got that in there. So in theory, you could take the bottom part of this off, I think. Yep, it's just got an O-ring and it kind of looks like it snaps in place. And so you could really get in there and clean this out. Of course, if your pump ever doesn't want to start or doesn't want to run, you need to get a brush into this area right here and clean that out real good, because who knows what's in there. It could be moss, like I've got Java moss in these tanks. Could be like that. Could be any of that kind of stuff. Rocks, sand, if you have that in your tank. We'll put this in here, give it a twist. That'll hold it in place. I could see where there's some trouble with this design to me, just right off the bat. Okay, so you've got your cord here, and you do something, you bump this a little bit, and maybe this gets a little bit loose, and now you got a problem. I don't like that. Put the impeller back in here. Now we got to put this thing back in here that holds the tube on. You've got to slide it in just right and snap it. I hear it snap. That sounded good. Put this tube back in place. Got to kind of slide it that way. Got to go just right with that as well. Looks like, okay, so the tube, the reason there's a stick on this tube is because you can swing it from one side to the other and change the amount of flow into the tank. So if you cover the impeller hole all the way, which I'm sure you can't really see here, but you slide that back and forth and it will expose more of the tube or cover more of the tube and get you more or less suction. Okay, so now what else? I feel like I'm missing a piece because I need a thing for the bottom. Let's see what's in this box. It's more than just media, huh? Yeah, and the usual mess on the desk. Okay, here's the tube that needs to go on there. So the tube would snap on, like so. That's okay. Got carbon that came in the box. Got some ceramic looking filter media for biological filtration. And a random piece of black plastic. What is the random piece of black plastic for? It's a leveling device. So that leveling device would plug on the bottom here, looks like. And we can just put it in this little hole that's in the bottom of it. Snap it in there. It doesn't really snap, it just mushes in there. and you can set it to be a different amount of sticking outness for the filter. So as you twist it, maybe all the way to that, if you can see it maybe against my shirt there, and then it would twist inward, okay? So we'll leave it on there. We have to go rinse the media out. I'm gonna do that and come back. Okay, I've rinsed everything out, so it's all wet and drippy, but here's a little media container. This is where the ceramics go. They're in there, one fell out. It looked like if they had little pieces in here, they'd go through pretty easy because there's some fairly large holes here. So make sure you rinse them well so you don't get little pieces down in your filter. Let's see, put this on the right way. It just snaps down. Then we have this media container, and the carbon that came with it, which I also rinsed, of course, goes in here. Just fit that down there, fits in there pretty nicely. I think you can see it. Then we stick this top part in here. It'll just snap in right there, if you can see that. And the filter body itself, I see, is rather scuffed up from shipping. I don't know if you can see that. It's lots of little scuffs, lots of places. This was sent to me, you know, in a truck. I didn't get it from a store, so it probably took a little more of a beating that way. It didn't hurt it, it's not cracked. It just looks a little scuffed up. So put this down in here, just right. And we take this other part with the foam and the polishing part of the filter media in here. It's got a little handle on top to hold it, so that helps. So I can pick it up by that. The place that you pinch, put that in there, okay. Oh, and don't forget, there's this little pad that goes on top of the media chamber, so you gotta have the holes. There's little holes, so you don't see them so much on this side, but they're more on this side, if you can see that here. And then it just snaps, doesn't snap, it just goes here, you know, protects that media. This filter is rated for up to 50 gallons according to the box. I'm not sure if I would put it on a 50-gallon tank. It seems kind of small for that to me. I like a lot more filtration though, and I usually put a lot more fish in my tanks, and I bet you all do too. I do have a 20-gallon tank here with 3 little goldfish in it with only a sponge filter, so it could really use a filter like this on the back. So I think that's where I'll put this filter to test it out and give it a whirl, see how it does over the longer term. This is just really an unboxing and a kind of my critique of what I've seen so far. Oh, and we also need to put this top on it. Put the top there. Okay, now of course, before you can start this filter, you do have to fill it up with water so that the pump can be primed and start pumping. And if the pump ever doesn't want to prime on one of these kind of back filters where the motor is outside the tank, then definitely be sure to clean that impeller and clean all that out to make sure what's going on and make sure there's plenty of water in here too. Now, one more thing before I put the filter on the tank. If you like this video so far, if you could hit the like button, that would really help me out. It would help you out too to see more videos like it. And if you could subscribe, if you're not subscribed already, I'd really appreciate that too. And that'll help you find my latest videos as they come out. Okay, here's the filter. I've got it on the tank now. Under here, you can see I've got one of these big power strips. This particular power strip is for pumps and heaters, so I can shut them off separately. Plug this in right here. The filter's going to try to get primed. There it goes. Oh, interesting. Look at this. Can we get on that? Oh yeah, we're getting there. Look at how it jets water over the top of this trickle part of the filter. So that's kind of cool. So a lot of the water is going underneath, I guess. That's interesting. So it pumps in the back, it goes around behind, some of it goes through there and comes out down here, but it also jets this little pump of water over the top into this media chamber here and does like a trickle filter. That's an interesting design from an engineering standpoint. It's quiet, it's not making a bunch of noise. Okay, we'll put the lid back on it. I made it mad. Oh, see? Okay, yeah, here, this is the part where I said if you push the thing to the side, it reduces the flow. If you push it up, it increases it. We're gonna keep it on maximum flow. Over to the right is maximum flow, over to the left is less flow. So push that all the way to the right. I want maximum flow here. We'll put the lid back on it. Make sure that's all situated. It's a little cheesy the way it fits together, but it's fine. All right, I've got that back part cut here so that it can go up against the filter. Here's the goldfishies. See what they think about this. Does not look like a tornado in here. Goldfish. There's some water circulating in the tank. I can't imagine how you would use this on a 50-gallon tank, honestly, but it seems fine for a 20. It's definitely not crazy circulation in here. I've put some filters for a 50 or bigger gallon on a 20 gallon before, and it's kind of like a toilet flushing. We don't have that problem. So also on this filter, I read the reviews online. I read a couple dozen reviews, and they weren't so great, but I can't tell. People who don't like a product for whatever reason, they have a bad one, they have a bad experience, maybe they put it together wrong, they might leave a negative review. And then people with a positive experience are a lot less likely to do that. Kind of the trend in the reviews was that the filter stopped working after a fairly short period of time, months or a year instead of many years, because I think a filter like that should last for 10 years or more, or that it became noisy. If it does become noisy, as I always say, make sure to clean out the impeller and the impeller housing. Make sure that's good. If the pump won't prime, usually it's that. Now, if the impeller is missing a fin or it's damaged in some way, of course it'll make noise, and there's no amount of cleaning that would fix that. So if I do have any problems with this filter, I'll update the comments and mention how it goes over time. We will see. It would take several months for me to have a real judgment about it, but right now it seems to work fine. So this is Jay, aka Fishalati, signing off here. Remember, if you like this video, if you're not subscribed, if you could please subscribe, that would be great. If you could hit the like button, that'd be great too. So remember, my message is always to keep it fishy and have fun. Thanks. Hey everybody out there, this is Fishalati with Fishy Review. Today I'm going to do an unboxing of this Fluval C3 filter. Get a mark on my head, that'd be great.